Have you ever listened to psychic mediums and everything turns out to be light and bright and all is well? Have you then realized that there's more to reveal, that maybe something is missing? Welcome to Shades of Spirit Radio with me, Psychic Medium Jaime. Join me as I connect you to all shades of spirit during this live call-in show. I'm a medium, Reiki master, spiritual connector, and paranormal investigator. I provide a safe space for people to turn when they are scared and in a non-judgmental heart. I'm going to help you, the listeners, identify ways you can connect by supplying the spiritual tools you can use in your everyday life when connecting with spirit. We reach everyone and exclude no one. Are you ready to connect with spirit? This show is leaving nothing off limits. Shades of Spirit starts now. Hello, everyone. Psychic Medium and Reiki Master Jaime here. So excited to be here today. I'm not going to lie. This has been a roller coaster of the past 2 weeks. Last time, if you guys have not watched it yet or listened to it on one of the podcast platforms, you've got to go and listen to it. I had LaShawn from Luminous Path with Love on with me, and we were talking about our latest and greatest paranormal investigation at the Palomar Hotel. Now, we've done something even bigger and better, and I know LaShawn's watching on the page. Hi, LaShawn. We were at the Whaley House. Hello, Amy. I can see you on there as well. What a cool experience. So we did the late night tour, and the group was just a group of people that are friends and clients that hang out with us. And we got to explore on our own from like 11 to 12:30. And we got a quick rundown of equipment from the person that runs it. Super cool experience. We are going to do that again. LaShawn and I have decided to organize the way we kind of want to do it a little bit differently, but you still will have time to go into places in the museum that's normally blocked off for your regular tours. So I was like, I don't know, I was like a schoolgirl, all excited. There's things that I always wanted to do. Like if you've ever been to the Whaley House down here in San Diego in Old Town, you're going to know that there is a juror box because it was a courtroom at one point in time, and it's always roped off. Well, you got to sit in the juror box. And I was like that, like, oh my gosh, I'm like talking to a celebrity type energy, right? Having people take pictures of me in the jury box. I know, geeked out, but it was such a phenomenal experience. And then we stayed over at the Cosmopolitan Hotel and investigated Amy and her friend's room with our paranormal equipment, which happens to be the room that we're going to be doing our event this coming Saturday, the 30th. It is going to be from 5 to 9. It is a group reading, so you're going to get messages from spirit, and then we're also going to pull out all of our paranormal equipment and teach you how to investigate. We know there's activity in that room, though they did sleep well, so I'm looking forward to that. But we do have some spots left for that coming up this Saturday, the 30th. You guys got to go to Shades of Spirit LLC on Facebook, or you can go to shadesofspirit.com and book those tickets. So today I realized as I was walking out to my car last night that we are almost at a full moon. Yeah, it's so exciting. And with the full moon, that means it's time to manifest, right? It's time to bring that energy in. It's time for us to connect into that space. So pulling up the full moon information, because I always like to double check. I keep track of the moon cycles. I have calendars of the moon cycles. I realized that this is our last full super moon of 2023. And you don't get this energy very often, especially when you have 4 of them in 1 month. Well, let's use this to our advantage. And when I looked at what I was going to do the show on this week, I realized that this is prime time for us to manifest, you guys, right now, because we are ramping up in the energy of this full moon. You guys have heard me talk in my Release and Intentions workshops that it takes about 3 days for that energy to start ramping up, right? So that would be today. Full moon is late Thursday, very early Friday morning. And then you've got about 3 more days after that in order to continue that cycle of embracing that energy of the moon. Now, I know for me, it has been an emotional time leading up to this moon. I've been releasing a lot. Like I was telling Emily when we first clicked on here this morning, This is my daughter's room. She just went to college. So you guys had seen my post about how difficult that can be for us as parents and, even for our children. But to send a second one off really hit home because I spent so much time with her and really got to know her for the past 2 years because her older sister had been at college. And now I've got my son for 4 years. So we don't want to discuss what a mess I'm going to be there. But a lot of raw emotions were coming up and a lot of inner child work has been done with just me personally and the sense of loss around me in my life, whether that be from loved ones passing or just relationships with people. So a lot of releasing the past couple of weeks. And I wanted to understand, why was it so intense? Well, it's because we have this full moon, the super moon, that's amplifying this energy tenfold, right? So our typical experiences associated with the full moon, the super full moon is representing that opportunity. It's like that final push with that kick out the door, right? We're just kicking them out the door. Let's go. We are releasing what's holding us back from embracing those new opportunities. And the best part about this moon, if you really take advantage of it, is you're going to have renewed clarity in what you want and what's to come. Right? So the spiritual meaning of our full moon for 2023 is asking that you don't abandon your independent desires yet. So what does that mean? Independent desires. It's not what your family wants as a group, right? It's not what your parents want for you. It's not what your friends think you should be doing. It's literally, what are the desires that you have that have been brewing in this solar plexus, that's moving into this heart center, that you're feeling drawn to do? Don't let them go this month. I want you to hold on to that energy. I want you to formulate a plan and find allegiances that can help you get to where you want to be, and that you can do this in a way that's satisfying. So I want you guys to think right now, tune in, right? Tune into your energy. What is it that you truly desire? What is that one thing, maybe two things, maybe it's 10 that you truly desire in your life right now? And that's where you want to have your pencil, your paper, right? You can go back and listen to this. You can go back and watch this. Emily's got it posted immediately after, and really work on this the next few days. Is I want you to write on top of your paper, I can't spell when I'm doing this, you guys know that, desire. What is it that you want? And I want you to be selfish in the respect of nothing's off limits. It can be love. It can be self-love. It can be a new job. It could be financial gain and abundance. It could be the small things. What I really desire is, what was interesting is I'm looking at my property and what's now going to be our office, and we've got like 50 orange trees. Our neighbors behind us have this beautiful apple tree with beautiful red apples on it. And I'm like, I really want an apple tree. Like, I don't have enough to do on this property as it is, but I really want an apple tree. Apples have a significant meaning. You can bake with them. You can do all sorts of things with them. But it can be a desire that is something as simple as just wanting to bring something else onto your property or wanting to take care of something. My son this weekend, he's 14. He wanted to build a freestanding little vegetable bin, right? So that's what we did. Inexpensive, something we did together. We bought plants together. So what do you desire? What do you want to get yourself into right now? And I don't want you to look too far out. So that's the biggest part when I teach these workshops is, yes, we want to look at a big picture, but the big picture can become overwhelming. And I'm going to talk about that next, is when our big picture becomes overwhelming, we lose sight of what's right in front of us, right? A lot of us are living in the past and in the future. But when we want to manifest, we need to bring this into a core level of being in the here and now and in the present moment. And so when we can be in the here and now in the present moment, we're seeing the signs and symbols that spirit is giving us, as well as following our intuition and our gut instinct as to, does this feel like it's in alignment with my soul purpose? Is this where I need to be? And when you can gut check it, you can get there faster for your bigger picture in the future. So you can make a section on your paper that's long-term. Where do you want to see yourself next year? Where do you want to see yourself in January? Maybe you want to do 6 months, a year. Everybody has kind of a preference of how far they want to go out. But you've got to break these desires, these needs, these wants into tangible manifestations. And that's another thing, that we are in such a state as a society of wanting and needing things right now. Right now. I need it right now. I got to have it right now. I know that I get that way at times. I get impatient. So it's bringing the patience lesson back in. Now, 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 now. And a lot of times that now can be a benefit to us because we're ramping things up when we're ready to go. But we self-sabotage ourselves in that environment because we're looking for what it is that we want to be bringing in for us that's going to happen in the future. And we're going so fast now trying to create it that we're missing what is happening around us. And sometimes our spirit team is listening, but we're not listening to them. So when we're asking them, when you're in a space of manifesting, when you're in a space of creating, you have to click into your spirit team. And I say have to because if we don't ask, we don't receive. So we're going to ask our angels and we're going to ask our spirit guides. And I am bringing in a new angel, which has been a very interesting experience for me because it's been a while since I've worked with a new guide or a new angel, if you will. And this one is very much about manifesting and creation. Right? So I can ask my spirit team and my guides and my angels, I do this all the time, please put me back on my soul path. And sure enough, things will start to realign, right? But this particular angel is my manifestation, let's try that again. My manifesting angel. This angel helps me tie into my Akashic records and my Hall of Records. And I work with Archangel Uriel, the angel of wisdom. And when I bring these two together, and I really think about what it is that I want to create, what it is that I want to put out there for the universe to be like, all right, I see it, I hear it, let's bring it to you. But I end it with, please make sure it's on my soul's path of what I'm manifesting and creating. That's where you guys will start to feel like you're being turned left instead of going right like you normally do. You're going to see a sign on a billboard and it's going to make you think of, oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that idea. Maybe some of you are into numbers, so you're following the numbers as well. But when we slow down, we give it a purpose. We give a desire to that purpose. This is what I would like to achieve. And then we ask our spirit team to make sure that it's in alignment with our soul's path, our blueprint, if you will. You're going to see this happen very quickly for you. But if you don't stay in the moment, which honestly, come on, who's going to be able to stay in the moment 100% of the time? You've got to make that time every day to stay in the moment, to listen, to refocus those desires and intentions. That's why making boards, vision boards, can be extremely helpful, which we've done in the past, because you can leave that up for as long as you need to in order to continuously remind you to stay focused on the task at hand. So maybe you want to make a vision board for the last couple months of this year, but putting those intentions out now with this full super moon that we have coming up on Friday morning is pivotal, because that is going to give us that final boot out the door of getting this stuff done and getting us in alignment with what we want. So while you're forming those alliances, I'm going to use LaShawn the Luminous Mystic, right? We've been working together now 4 or 5 years. We've been friends just as long. And that is an alliance that I know is going to be true to her purpose, right? What she wants out of each endeavor that she pursues. And I know that it feels energetically in alignment with where I'm at, what I want. Now, what's interesting is that we were talking not that long ago when we actually kicked off Paranormal Road Trip, which you guys can follow on Facebook and Instagram. When we started to kick off and actually gave our vision a name, all of a sudden opportunities started coming in for us. And that's what happens, is that when you finally find an allegiance of people, or maybe it's one person, and you have people that back you in this space, and if you're following your true desire, you're going to be able, and I have full body chills right now, like, and that's what happens when my angels come in and spirit is like, yes, you are onto this, right? I'm paying attention to the subtle symptoms, the subtle tingling sensations in my body and the physical sensations around me, when I know that that is what spirit wants me to be doing for myself and what spirit wants me to be saying to my clients or to you guys, the viewers and listeners, is that when we can be in alignment with our desires and we bring in somebody else who has that same alignment with their desires, what happens is that we create the ultimate explosion of manifestation. So that's why I tell you guys too, Focus on what you want first and then find people to bring in. And sometimes what we have to do is for ourselves, right? So again, let's take LaShawn. LaShawn, I'm just using you all day long. Thank you so much. Her beautiful jewelry and crystals that she has, right? That's her desire. That's her passion, if you will, right? Creating these. And she puts her heart and soul into every single one of them and has manifested and created a successful business. Now, if I was to come into that, right, I wouldn't say it wouldn't be as successful because I want to give myself some credit, but it would bring the energy into a different space, right? So I might be like, oh, LaShawn, I want to team up with you. I'm really into crystals too. Here's my candles with my crystal grid in them. And so now we're going to be a team and let's rename it. The energy of what we're doing together now has shifted from what LaShawn has manifested and created and continues to grow and move forward with my energy now over here that's got a different purpose, a different desire. So working with people can be a hindrance at times. That's why you've really got to tap into who can do this with me. Maybe it's a spouse, maybe it's a good friend, maybe it's a child, right? Maybe there's something in there like my son and I. We've built this beautiful planter box, if you will, that's on, legs, and it's just phenomenal. And I'm going to sand it down this week and stain it. And then we've got herbs to put it in and vegetables to put in it. But we did this together and we've created something that we both desired, that we both have wanted to do for a while. And it feels good. The food that we're going to eat from it is going to be full of love and those memories. So you guys see where I'm going with the whole manifesting and finding the right people to be doing it with and making sure that it's coming from your soul level. This is the moon to not give that up yet. You may not feel like you're moving forward, or you may not feel like you're moving as quickly as you would like, but at the same time, you are. You just got to step back and reevaluate. I have some cards that I'm going to be pulling at the second half, which is all about what spirit wants us to manifest and create for this moon. They want to give us some focus points, and there's going to be 3 cards. So you guys are definitely going to want to stick around after the break as I pull those cards. And it's kind of like a universal, what is it that we should be kind of focusing our attention on? And then we add in our own desires, our wants, our needs in that creation. So what we're going to do is we're going to gather the energy that's ramping up, right? So get your little baskets out, start bringing that energy in. Do that right now. You can just be open and say, all right, universe, I'm going to be open to manifesting and creating for my highest and best in a space of love and light. You're going to ask your spirit team then to come in. I'm going to ask my angels, my spirit guides, my manifesting and creating angel to come in and sit with me. I'm going to ask Archangel Uriel for the wisdom of my past, present, and future lives to be able to create where I'm supposed to be at on my soul's path. And then I'm just going to sit in that space for a second, and I'm just going to feel the energy of that space. And I'm just going to allow the ideas to come through. This can be a very quick process. We are all very busy. We are all constantly moving forward in our minds, but we have to slow it down and allow ourselves to take advantage of this energy. Those of you that are having physical sensations, rapid heartbeat, almost that jittery feeling like you had way too many cups of coffee. For me, the nausea starts right around the time the full moon starts ramping up. So that was a tough one for me yesterday. I had that multiple times. My body is trying to adjust to the power that this moon is bringing. Remember, our bodies are 98%, 99% water. So when we have these moon cycles and even these planetary alignments that shift on a regular basis, we are affected by them. The moon and the sun and earth affect the tides. So if they're affecting the tides, it's going to affect your physical body. So don't jump the gun thinking there's something wrong or something's going on. Though if you really feel like there's something going on and wrong, please get to the doctor. But take a minute and acknowledge that shift in energy within your physical body. It can be headaches. It can be all of a sudden tension. It can be that you're watching a Hallmark commercial. I don't know, do they make those anymore? And all of a sudden you just start tearing up and crying, like that message, something you've watched on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or whatever. That message, that connection, all of a sudden it's triggered a response in you, and now you're releasing. Allow this process to happen the next few days. because it's a process. We are processing the information, we are acknowledging the information, and we're letting it go. And if you're not sure, because I get this a lot, what if I just don't know? I don't know what I want to create. I don't know what I need to let go of. I've been doing all this work. I don't feel like I've gotten anywhere, or I feel like I'm kind of stuck in my space right now. You have to ask for help from your spirit guides, from your angels. Maybe it is go have lunch with a friend and be like, man, I got to talk this out a little bit. Vocalize what it is that you would like to have. And if you aren't sure, then I always put it back to my spirit team. Because again, if we're not working with them, we're not building that relationship with them. So when it comes down to my spirit team, I am in the moment saying, all right, these are the few things that I would like to start seeing come to fruition over the next few days, few weeks, few months. But I know there's more. I just can feel it. I'm going to say, and whatever I'm supposed to be doing on my soul path, I'd like you to bring me those bits and pieces of that puzzle as well so I can put it together. They are not going to hand us a basket and say, here you go, here's your welcome basket, and you have all the tools that you need, because we have to do it ourselves, right? We have to be the ones that gather the tools, but we can ask for help and assistance in doing so and making sure that we do stay on the right path. How many of you have self-sabotaged yourselves when trying to manifest? And so you've got a whole plan and you're like, yes, I'm ready to go. And then we squirrel and find something shiny over in the corner. I've done it years and years and years. I finally have slowed myself down to where I stop and look at the shiny object in the corner. And then I feel it. And I ask my spirit team, is this the direction I'm supposed to be going? And then I gut check it, or I'll follow my heart. That's a big part that a lot of us have stopped doing, is following our heart on what we want to accomplish in life. And we're doing only the logic side. We're only tuning into this mind, to the logical part of it. So maybe some of your desires, while we've got the energy of the supermoon, is going to be, where am I coming out from my heart? What do I want here? That's a harder question to ask ourselves. Put it out into the universe. If it's in a space of love and light and you're doing it for your highest and best, you're going to be okay. You're going to be safe. But you've got to trust. Sometimes we got to make that jump. And then when these things do start coming to fruition, which it happens, these things do happen, you guys, even if you're in a lull, it does happen when we connect in that right way. And your right way is going to be different than mine, right? So just know that, but take some of these tips and start adding them into what you have. But when we can associate ourselves with our spirit team and we can really bring together what we would like, and we're doing it from a space of a heart-centered space, it is also going to happen much quicker than if we're doing it just from the logical mind, because the logical mind will self-sabotage ourselves. We're going to get into our head. Is that going to be profitable? Am I going to have time for that? Will so-and-so approve of that? Right? So now we're trying to manifest from a place of logic, but we're already self-sabotaging what we're trying to write down on the paper. So how is that helpful in this experience? It's not, because we can create from a heart space, allow these tools to come in, allow us to acknowledge them and follow those paths, and then we switch into the logical mind. Okay, now this is actually coming to fruition. Got these phone calls. I've got this. Is this going to work within my budget? Can I make this work financially? Do I feel like this is in alignment, or these people or this place? If you're looking at creating, new jobs or houses or whatever, does this feel right? And then you go to the logic mind. Can I afford it? Is this something that I have the time to do? And so now you can rationalize whether or not this is going to be the perfect fit for you. But if you're already rationalizing it as you're writing it down, or you're not feeling it 110% as you're writing it down, it's going to linger out in the universe, and the universe is going to spit right back at you what it is that you have just put out to it. Laws of attraction. The laws of attraction can bite us in the butt more times than none, right? Because the universe is listening, our spirit guides are listening, and what we put out is what we're going to get back. So I personally do not manifest when I am not in the energetic space to do it. I will not create this list today until energetically I am in a space to do it from a space of love and light and compassion, self-compassion. What is it that I want, that I need, and that I desire? You guys can think about it today, really start to chew on that and be like, all right, I get what she's saying now. I understand that place that she's coming from. And then write it out tomorrow is Wednesday, or write it out Thursday. Write it out Friday at the peak of this moon that we have, right? It's all about timing. And that's what we're giving you here today by doing the show that's up and coming for this supermoon, is we're giving you time to think about it, to connect with it, to make sure it feels right, to be able to sit with it for a little bit. And then what you can do is you can cross stuff off. You can erase it. You have the power. This is your paper. You can make a whole nother desire paper tomorrow and a whole nother one on Thursday and have 3 desire papers. And then what? Then you can go back through on Friday and be like, all right, final one, final draft. Some of you really need to write it out several times, and you'll have different ideas that start to flow because now you're putting it out in the universe. And then Friday, you can make your master plan. And then what? Then we're going to release it into the universe. We're going to take that master plan. This is the way I like to do it, is that I will take it out of my notebook. Maybe I have a really pretty piece of paper that I want to write it on, right? I might have candles burning. I might have my essential oils going. It just depends on what I feel like in the moment. But I'm going to take it out. I'm going to fold it up. Sometimes I rip it up and I put it in my cauldron, if you will, and I burn it. Sometimes we'll do it in a group at a fire pit setting. Do it somewhere safe if you want to burn it. And then when the ashes are cool, I go put it back out into Mother Earth. And I ask her to transmute it into love and light for any and all that need it. Anything that I'm, holding on to, I need to release. And then I just allow the universe to take it and go. And then I forget about it. Well, as much as I can. And when we can forget about it, that allows ourselves to remove the ego, and it allows our spirit team and the universe to work with us, no longer against us. So when we come back from break, I'm going to pull 3 cards, universal collective cards of what the spirit world and the universe would like us to put into our desire list, as well as what we want for us personally. Remember, you guys, you can go to shadesofspirit.com if you are interested in a group reading. It's a very small group, so everyone's going to get a nice reading, as well as learning how to do some paranormal investigating and seeing how spirit interacts with us at the Cosmopolitan Hotel this weekend. Also, we have some space left for our camp out in Wrightwood. That is in about a month. Next month, we are going to Wrightwood. We are doing our mystical camp in the woods. We are offering a coupon. So you have to go to luminouspathwithlove.com in order to get your tickets for that. I would not miss that if you can. Don't miss it. Oh my gosh, we have so many fun activities planned. We're going to be doing paranormal investigating. We're going to be doing a healing circle with singing bowls and tuning forks and workshops and readings. I mean, it's just going to be a whole weekend of us connecting with one another, making new friends and connections, and also connecting with spirit and connecting with ourselves. So I'm going to take a break. And when I come back, let's pull some cards and see where spirit wants us to head as we manifest this super full moon for September. Welcome back, everybody. I am Psychic Medium Jaime, and you are watching Shades of Spirit on Transformation Talk Radio. You guys can go to transformationtalkradio.com. You can go to their Facebook page, YouTube page, and find any and all of my episodes on there, as well as shadesofspirit.com. You can find our radio shows from 2020 on. You can also listen to any of those shows on pretty much any type of podcast platform, Spotify, iHeartRadio topics, or groups like that also have Shades of Spirit on there. And for those of you that have just met us through some of the psychic fairs that have just started following us, I also had a show called Eye of Soul Radio, which has different topics on that, which is also on both of Transformation Talk Radio and Shades of Spirit's pages. So you have lots of information. I think there's like 75 or 80 different talk shows that you can listen to from the past few years. And it's all spirit related because, hey, that's what we do here. So let's get into now creating our desire list, right? So we're talking about the full super moon of September. It is the harvest moon. It's all about being in that space of illumination. It's also about gathering the necessities that we need for the upcoming fall. We just had, fall equinox. So yay, we're now into fall. I can finally wear a sweatshirt in the evening here in San Diego. It's been lovely. But it is a time for change. And what I've noticed in just the past couple of weeks with my clients is half of my clients are on the manifest train. They're ready to finish off 2023 strong. We only have a few months left, right? But then I have those that all of a sudden have started hibernating early. I mean, like 6 weeks early. They're going into a hibernation, which is something we normally do closer to winter, right? We kind of slow it all down. We allow ourselves to finish reflecting, releasing, be open to what's here for us for the next year. But they're already doing it now. So honestly, how many of you have felt like you have started to slowly shut down right now and go within and start to hibernate? And that's fine. That just means that we've got a lot more that we need to process and work on. And we've got a lot of good things coming up for us into next year if we're already starting to slow that down. But sometimes we need some tools, we need some guidance, some direction. So this particular deck I found at a little metaphysical shop. It's called the Wild Rituals Intentions deck. I like decks. I only use usually oracle cards, as you guys know, because I just use it as a tool in order to add to my tool belt and work with channeling through spirit for your messages. But I like cards that have all the information on them, and these do. And so we're going to pull 3 because that's what spirit was showing me this morning as I was getting ready for the show. 3 cards to see what the universe and spirit would like us to focus on within manifesting for this particular month, using the energy of the supermoon, right? Because this is our last supermoon. It's the 4th one of the year. There are no more. So really harnessing that energy. 2 of them just fell out. So we've got 1 more. And then you're going to add your own desires, your own manifestations, what you want to create to these this week, okay? And what I like is that you have 3 days before the full moon. So it's giving you time to process. It's giving you time to work on it. You guys think about it, for those of you that, we've gone to school, we've had training sessions for jobs, we work in, any type of career. Sometimes we have to step back for even an hour to then go back to it to view it differently. And that's actually what spirit is showing me. I've got quite a few readings today, and I left myself a nice chunk of time between the first 2 and the second 2. And I'm actually going to leave to get some lunch and then come back because I work from home. I'm in my space. I need to be able to get that fresh perspective, clear the energy out. And so that's what they're saying, do with this as well. So here's our 3rd one. Ooh, I love it. Got the chills. So the first card you're going to write down that our spirit teams collectively and the collective universe is giving us is actually air, which I love this card because if you think about air, it's what we need to survive, number 1. It's what plants need to survive. It's what the planet needs to survive. Animals, we all need air. So this is about you guys tuning into your survival skills, right? And what are you doing to survive? Are you just existing to survive? And how can you alter that? So I'm taking the air card as more of a release. What can we let go? What can we breathe, right, through air, out, calming, centering, grounding, bringing us clarity and perspective. Now, this particular card also talks about blasting through the mental fog, which is our breath, which is allowing us to ground and center, to calm our mind, body, and soul, and allow us to be in a space of receiving, right? So you guys write down air. I just did. And I want you to really focus on clearing out the mental brain fog. And today I'm much more clear. Emily and I were talking about this. She's like, oh, that makes sense why I felt the way I did yesterday. I am much more clear today. I'm more centered and grounded in my space in order to be able to start creating. To cut through the truth of the matter, to gain a clearer, higher perspective. That's this air card. To discover solutions, carve new radical pathways, and see options formerly clouded by confusion. That is our air card. Beautiful way to start this. Like I said, this energy is all about us doing the internal work It's having us be able to focus on what we want as an individual this month, and then find those alliances that can come in and help us with it or help us manifest it quicker, or to realize that some of this has to be some inner work that we need to do ourselves, which is this air card, finding clarity, which is what this moon is about, is bringing clarity into our space and allowing us to sit in the moment with our thoughts, right? Sit in the moment with what we want to create and manifest. The second one is calm. So, like I said, how many of you have been feeling very zingy, especially yesterday, today, as we ramp up into this full supermoon, where you feel like you've had 18 cups of coffee, your mind is scattered? This might be the past couple months. I know that I've talked to so many people, whether they're clients or just friends and family, that have been, I'm just so scatterbrained lately. I can't keep a focus for very long. Well, we need to find the the clarity within what it is that we're trying to focus on. And then we need to stay calm in our space. We need to bring that calming, soothing energy in. And since we got the air card, think about it. If you've ever been on the beach and the sun is warm and the waves are crashing, and then you get that nice cool breeze every so often that just like washes over you, and that brings a sense of calm to your space. We can't manifest if we're going 110 miles an hour. I mean, we can, but we're not going to see clearly and gain the clarity we need if we're not sitting in a space of calm, centered, and being grounded. So the purpose of this card says, when your world feels upside down, when instability is rocking you to the core, when the breath of life seems to have escaped you, sit with this card. The tools you need is just a quiet space, time, and patience. All things we talked about in the beginning. Going back to patience, going back with sitting in the moment, being present. Things are going to come up in our lives, and they are going to derail us from where we thought we were going. And this happens in order for us to be caught off guard, refocus, reevaluate. It may be that we've been on the same path for so long and we are very comfortable in that path, and that's okay, right? You just might want to send out into the universe that I'm happy with where I'm at in the space that I'm at right now. I want to continue doing it from a space of love and light, and let it go. Let it just continue to amplify that forward motion for you in that direction that you wish to go in. But sometimes things like an illness in a family or something within ourselves, my knees, I tweaked it again getting off the airplane. And so now I have completely a whole new set of problems to go with the knee replacement that already needs to be done. I'm not sleeping at night. It's really, really painful right now, but it's also focusing me to sit back down, reevaluate, create where I want to be going, and focusing. I have to be calm in order to do that. And I can't be calm when I'm standing and I'm in constant pain. So again, this brings me back to grounding and centering and reevaluating and having the patience. You guys, that's the biggest part. We aren't going to have this happen overnight. Some things, yes, I've been able to sit with my team, surrender. I want you guys to write that down on a separate piece of paper. The releasing section is to surrender. And when we can let it go, and I've surrendered to my spirit team and the angels, and I've said, all right, this is in your hands now. I am giving this to you. Put me back to where I need to be. I've received phone calls the next day with opportunities that blew my mind. Why? Because I let go of my ego and I let go of the expectations, and I allowed myself to be in that space of receiving. And that's what I want you to do with the supermoon, because this is going to amplify that energy tenfold for you guys. Okay. So air is breathing, remaining calm while we're doing it, bringing the clarity in, listening. It's those subtle signs around us, whether it's the physical sensation, you're using your psychic senses, whether it's opening up that crown chakra and connecting more with your spirit team, whether it's trusting the images that you're getting in your third eye, right? The clairvoyance kicking in. It might be clairaudient. You might hear something. You might hear something from inside, which is still clairaudient. But using these tools, which is our psychic senses, in order to create and manifest where we want to go. Don't worry. If you aren't sure where you want to go, but you still want to use the energy of the moon, I'm going to get to that in just a second. The last card is abundance. This gives me full body chills. This is what the universe and our spirit team is telling us to focus on, as we're creating our desires and our manifestations with this moon in the next 3 days. Okay. Air, clarity, calm, grounding, centering, patience, focusing, and abundance. Chills. Like, everybody wants the abundance card, whether it's abundance, financial gain, love, respect. Abundance means different things to different people. The purpose of this card says, when drowning in lack, whatever that might be, right? It says, when the watery, oh, sorry, I don't have my glasses. So when the waters of creativity and prosperity seem to have receded, when your well of inspiration feels bone dry, soak up this card. Okay. So when you're feeling the sense of lack, remember that the universe this month is telling you, no, abundance is all yours to obtain. You've just got to follow the right pathways and channels in order to receive it. And then you have to be open to receiving. So for those of you that have that fine line of being open to receiving and then feeling guilty about receiving, that's something that you're going to have to work on slowly by letting go of that guilt and knowing that what you're creating in this universal consciousness is what you're on your soul path to do. And as long as you're putting in that caveat, space of love and light for my highest and best, I don't care how you phrase it, it's going to be in that space of love and light for your highest and best. And again, it can backfire. If you're going to manifest while you are in the middle of something traumatic, you are putting part of that trauma energy out into the universe as well as what you're manifesting. So you're going to get both of those things back, which is why it's so important to find the clarity, clear the energy, calm and center, and then start looking at what it is that we want to create for the abundance around us, right? So the 3 cards, the universe, again, write this on your paper: air, breath work, focusing, clarity, getting rid of that mental fog, seeing things more clear in both our physical senses and our mind's eye, calm, centered, relaxed, patience, allowing yourself to open up and receive. And it doesn't mean you have to do 20 minutes of sit down, quiet meditation every single day. It can be your mindfulness walks. It can be all those practices that I've talked about before in order to bring that space of calm. It might be that you need to remove yourself out of a situation or a group of people for a period of time. And all you have to do is just release those cords and bring them back into your energy field, right? And then you guys may sync back up later. And then being open to the abundance and creating what abundance looks like to you. And that's a desire. What do you desire in that abundance form? And it can be multiple things, you guys. Don't think you have to just limit yourself to just a couple. Put everything down you want. Use this supermoon to your advantage. Now, for those of you, because I do ask this question a lot in my sessions, especially when I'm doing more coaching sessions, is what are you interested in? What do you like to do? You've got the passion card in your spread, or you've got the passion card upside down. So you're trying to figure that out. What is it that you want to manifest and create? And I get so many people still to this day, since the pandemic, that are still finding themselves lost. How many of you are kind of in that space? Or you've had something traumatic come up within your space or your inner circle, and now you're trying to recenter and regroup, but you're not quite sure where to go. When we are in the space, which we all have those time frames, we still want to do this practice. We still want to connect. We still want to be one with the universe and our spirit team. But I can tell you, at my lowest of lows in 2020, my divorce was final in January, got let go of a job, decided to create Shades of Spirit as a full business. Pandemic hit. And I was at my lowest of lows for months. And I was going through the motions. And I was processing and processing and processing. I didn't know what I wanted to create in those months. I just knew that I had to go out and practice what I teach. And I needed to go out and connect. There'd be times where I would just sit under the full moon's energy and I would light a candle and just close my eyes and just let the universe take hold of where I needed to be and where I needed to go. And that's okay, because the promise to myself was I'm only going to accept what's in love and light. even though I'm feeling extremely low, I've got a lot of things going on in my life. I'm not happy with the way things have gone in my life, right? It was a tough time for so many of us on many levels. We were by ourselves, a lot of us, right? We all had to be home. We were all quarantined. It made us think, and that loneliness, all of it would be the highs and lows that we went through. But on those lowest of lows, I was still out at that moon with my crystals. Sometimes I'd feel like gathering a bowl of water and doing the whole make moon water and the rose petals in it and the crystals. And other times I would just sit out there with one candle. I made sure I had one thing that I could connect with. Candle, crystal, it doesn't matter. And I just would sit there with tears streaming down my face saying, all right, Spirit, guide me to where I need to be next. I am surrendering everything over to you. Please put me back on my soul's path in a space of love and light. And by golly, that's how we came into contact with Transformation Talk Radio, was after one of those chats with my spirit team. That's after I surrendered and said, put me back on my path. And I got a phone call within 2 days of that experience saying, hey, found you guys, like your content, love you guys to come on. I mean, I still have chills. I know it works. I'm not going to sit here and give you guys tips of the trade and tools and manifesting and stuff if it didn't work for us, but it does. But I've also self-sabotaged myself in the manifesting process. So I've done it where I've had 80 things going on and I just wanted to get it done because, oh my gosh, it's the full moon. And so let me get this out there. And yet everything that was coming back to me was in different puzzle pieces. I couldn't put one whole puzzle together because the emotions and my energy was in two different places. Kind of see how that's going? So it is twofold when we're manifesting and creating, especially using the power of what we have right now, is that we have to do it from a space of clarity, calmness, and creating exactly what it is that we would like. And if we're not sure, we're just going to turn it over to those on the other side that know where we're supposed to be going. And we're going to make that a focus for us. And it doesn't have to be hours long. Again, get your notebook out. Do 3 pages. What are you thinking about today? What's coming to you for tomorrow? What's coming to you for Thursday? And then for Friday, write out everything that you want out of those 3 pages. Some things are going to fall off the page because it was a spur of the moment thought. And you're like, oh no, that doesn't really resonate. And other things are like, yeah, I'm still on board. Let's get this moving. And then take and do your own process of how you want to release that into the universe. Whether that's taking that Friday paper, for me, it's tearing it up and putting it in my beautiful little cauldron. I know. And then I'll sage myself. I will sage my space. And then I love candles. So I'll light candles. Like this is going to be one where I actually go out above and beyond what I've done in quite some time, honestly, because I really want to harness this energy for what I want for next year. And then I'm going to burn my pieces of paper. Some of you might have a prayer that you want to say. Some of you just might want to do it in silence. It's up to you. Usually I have meditation music going, so I just kind of flow with the music. I watch it burn. And then I know that that process is complete. I can close that circle. I leave it in a space of protection and love and light. And in the morning, I'll dump out the ashes on Saturday morning into Mother Earth and ask her to finish transmuting that energy out and ask the universe to take those. And I'm going to let it go. We have to let it go. That is the biggest thing for us, is letting this go. So with that being said, we're going to release self-doubt. We're going to start facing our truths. We're going to align our chakras. So in order to do that, all you have to do is just close your eyes, breathe. That's that manifesting card that the spirit teams and Universal Consciousness gave us. Calm and center yourself. And then ask your angels to come in and to align your chakras, right? So we have 7 main chakras. Bring that respected color through each chakra. And if you don't know much about chakras, that's okay. It's all about realigning our energy, especially during this moon cycle. Anytime you feel the effects of the moon and the shift, because it's only going to ramp up for us now. So for me, it's going to be my chest. It's my heart palpitations. My rapid heart rate always flows with the moon. I'm going to bring this all back in, and I'm going to ask my angel who does this for me. I'm going to say, okay, align me back into my mind, body, and soul, bring my energy into alignment, bring the respected colors for each chakra through in order for me to be that beacon of receiving and receiving for my highest and best. And that's going to clear out energy. It's going to help realign and center you for the next few days. And for those of you that are into crystals, use them, gather them, put them out, charge them with this moon energy, because those crystals are going to be used for what you're manifesting over the next few months into next year. So make your moon water, all those things. This is a great time to do any and all. Or if you just don't have the energy to do it, then just sit with the moon each night, just even for a couple minutes, and allow yourself to just surrender and be open to receiving. So you guys can find me at shadesofspirit.com. I have my October special is $75 for a 1-hour psychic medium reading. I am booking fast for group readings up until the holidays, and then hopefully I'll be out getting a knee replaced. So you guys, if you're looking to book appointments, or we do gift certificates for people for the holidays, you can absolutely do that. Remember, this Saturday, the 30th, we have our group reading and paranormal investigation at the Cosmopolitan Hotel in Old Town, San Diego. So we're actually doing this reading in an alleged haunted room in Old Town, San Diego. So we've got tickets left for that. You can go to shadesofspirit.com and get those. LaShawn, the Luminous Mystic, and I will be at the Psychic Fair. It's a Vision Center for Spiritual Living on Mission Gorge Road on Saturday, October 7th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. She'll be selling her crystals and her beautiful jewelry, and I will be doing readings. So if you guys want to come on down and you're in San Diego, I know we haven't had as many fairs lately. You can catch me doing readings there in LaShawn. And then if you're interested in Wrightwood, our mystical weekend in the woods, you need to contact luminouspathwithlove.com. All the information's on her website. Message her if you have questions. It's going to be a fun-filled weekend. And yeah, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks, and manifest your desires in this full super moon of September. Have a good day, you guys. You've been listening to Shades of Spirit with me, Jaime. Tune in next time on Transformation Talk Radio as I connect you with your crossed over loved ones, angels, and guides. For more information and to book your own private experience, go to shadesofspirit.com. That's shadesofspirit.com.